Hello students, this is Sanat Kumar Swain and I hope you had a beautiful weekend. Today we'll be discussing about the theoretical framework in organizational behavior. In previous classes, we had discussed the various aspects of organizational behavior, including the behavioristic framework. So one of the important framework, theoretical framework in organizational behavior, we'll be discussing today. So before going into various slides, we'll have a brief introduction about what exactly is the theoretical framework all about. So it is a complete framework. Okay, the theoretical framework provides the complete framework, and it also provides a structured approach in so as to understand and analyze various kinds of the behavioral aspects of individual within an organization. Why do they behave? Why, and what is the reason behind their behavior? If their behavior if they are behaving in a particular way, so why is that? So that provides a complete framework. The theoretical framework provides a complete structured approach in understanding why they behave in a certain way. Okay. It also serves as a as an important foundation. It also like a base, an important base for various kinds of researchers, various kinds of behavior, organizational behavior practitioners, and various scholars to conduct any kind of empirical studies, if any, and to understand the complexities of the human behavior in any kind of workplace. Okay. So we'll be going through various kinds, different slides in the next slides to understand the various aspects of theoretical framework. So we'll go through few theories, uh, which is individual level theories, which is very focused to individual. So expectant theory. Now the very word expectant means to expect something. Now, being a human, we do have expectations, and when we are working for a particular organization, we do have certain expectations from the organizations. So this theory, the expectant theory, it provides that the employees or the individuals, we are motivated. Okay, we are motivated to perform much better when we believe that our effort is going to have will lead to good performance, and subsequently the good performance will also lead to better reward. Okay, and that rewards can have uh, a valuable impact on the organization. So that is all about expectant theory. Next is equity theory. Okay. Equity theory also it is like a comparative theory. You'll see that the employees, okay, they try to compare themselves with the with the other colleagues, with the other staffs of the organization, that whether their work is being rewarded suitably as compared to the other colleagues. Okay, and when they feel that, when they perceive that there is no equity, and there is equality, then individual, they normally get motivated to work in a better way. And third one is Maslow's hierarchy need. Obviously, we have already discussed about the Maslow's hierarchy need in the previous classes. So Maslow's hierarchy need is that we have, as an individual, as a human being, we have different needs. Okay, and when we, as an employee, we feel that our needs has been fulfilled, our needs is been taken care of, then we tend to perform better. Okay, so this is the slide of expectant theory. You can see that expectancy, instrumentality, and variance. Okay, so expectancy means whether when we see that when we are putting some effort, we do find that whether my effort is going to have some sort of high performance, whether it is going to create a good performance. And if it is going to create good performance, then will my performance lead to good outcome, better outcome? And the variance means reward, that whether uh, I will find that the outcomes which I am generating, whether it has been desired by the organization or not. So this is all about expectancy, that we do have certain sort of expectancy, expectations from the organizations we are working for. Now, equity is that what I'm going to what is my input towards my job, and what is the output from my job. What I'm going to put into my job, the time, my effort, my ability, my loyalty, that is my inputs towards my job. And what I'm going to get out of my job, that is a good pay structure. I expect a proper bonus, a good perk, and better benefits. So these are the outputs. So this is equity. And if that isn't balanced, if there is a balance between the equity, between the input and output, then definitely the performance level goes up. Okay. Now, Maslow's hierarchy of need. Obviously, we have already discussed this pyramid, the hierarchy needs of pyramids. Um, the base is the physiological, that's the basic needs which everybody needs. Okay, which includes food, water, shelter, the basic needs. Okay, and the second is security. Obviously, we need social security. We need a security from our employment, uh, social, friendship. Okay, friends. We have a sense of belonging in the society which we live in, and esteem. Obviously, we need self-worth. We need a self-satisfaction. We need a self, expectancy. Okay, and the top one is self-actualization. So we need a fulfillment, like inner fulfillment. Yes, we have achieved something which we do want to achieve. So this is all about the Maslow hierarchy of need. We have already studied this in your previous classes. Now, group level theories. Okay, so group level theory includes social identity theory. Okay, what do you mean by social identity theory? See, we as an individual, we and as because we live in a society, we have certain sort of social identity, and we try to retain that social identity within any organizations which we work for. Okay, so what is the social identity? It is social identity is something like a kind of identity which we create within the group which we are working for. Okay, and this also explains that the individual or the employee, they derive part of their self concept from the group of memberships. Okay, so in various organizations, this also influence the group dynamics. Okay, and also including the conflict and cooperation within a organization. The second is group thinking. Okay, what do you mean by group thinking? Group thinking means there has to be consensus for any kind of decision making. Okay, so if we are going to make in any kind of critical decision making, then a group behavior or a group decision making is very important. The consensus of the group is important in making any kind of decision within any organizational behavior. Okay. So if you go to the slide, you can see the social identity theory. It is based on social structure and individual identity. So what do you mean by social structure and individual identity? Social structure means as because we belong to a group, or any particular group, whether it's in a society or whether it's in any organization, we believe that that should be very distinct and that should be very unique. Okay? And that should have a positive identity of the group which we belong to. And individual identity means when we compare, that should be a social comparison between the in group and out group of any organization. that also creates a kind of social identity, and which is social identity. So this is a slide about group thinking. How do people think in a group? Now, leadership theory. What do you mean by leadership theory? There are various leadership theories: transformation leadership, transactional leadership. So, transformational leadership means to inspire and motivate the staffs or the followers of any particular organization to achieve any kind of higher level performance and personal growth. Okay. That can have a significant impact on organizational culture and behavior. Now, how do we understand the transformation leadership? Okay. So this is the um, slide of transformation leadership theory. You can see that in this, the first one is inspirational motivation. So when we are going to inspire, when you're going to inspire a particular employee through any kind of motivation, that can also be termed as a transformation leadership. Second is intellectual stimulation. If we are going to provide any kind of intellectual stimulation to any employee, that can also be transformed, and that leads to transformation leadership. Okay. Individual consideration. When we are going to consider every individual, individualism is important in this theory rather than group mechanism. We have to focus on any particular individual, and we have to consider their, see, a lot of individuals have a lot of ideas, and we have to consider their ideas. We have to consider the way they work. So much effort is being given to individual consideration. And the fourth one is idealized influence. Okay, so we have to have any kind of idealized influence on any particular individual in any organization. So these all four factors leads to transformational leadership theory. Okay. Now, transactional leadership. Now, what do you mean by transactional leadership? Somewhat, it is like a give and take. Okay, it is based on your performance, which can also lead to which can also influence the behavioral attitude of any employee. Okay, so the transactional leaders focus on exchange and reinforcement. Okay, it is like they are being rewarded or they are being punished based on their performance. Okay. See, so transactional leadership theory. You see, transactional leadership has got like reward performance. It is also known as, it is short term. Okay, it is more of a practical. Okay, rather than transformational. Transactional leadership is more of a practical. Okay, it follows a corporate structure. It does there has to be structural um, uh, structure way to follow this theory. Okay. Next is less flexible. It is not that flexible. Okay, as because it is following certain structure, certain steps are being followed. So it is not flexible, and it has to follow certain steps in this theory. External motivation. So there is no internal motivation, rather there is external motivation. When if you are performing well, you are going to get a reward according to your performance. If you are not performing, then there will be less reward. Okay, so that is all about reward performance. Now, organizational level theories. Now, what do you mean by organizational level theories? Organizational culture. Okay, so every organization has got their own type of culture. Various organizations have got their own culture, their own norms, and it's a challenge these days. You'll see that most of the organizations, most of the MNCs these days, particularly the IT companies, IT sector, you'll see that the culture, they try to retain their culture. They try to retain their culture, and if you're working for a particular company, you'll see that the same culture is being followed wherever you go in any part of the globe. So that is a very important aspect in the organizational level theories. Okay, So why do organizational culture is important in the organizational behavior settings? Because you see, um, culture is very important. Whether it's because we are social human animals, and culture plays a very important part on our behavior. Okay, the way we behave, the way we uh, perform, um, that all depends on the culture which we are from. So uh, any culture, any organization is based on its values, norms, and practice, and it can shape the behavior of the any individual. So to understand organizational culture is very important for an effective organizational behavior. Second is organizational change theory. What do you mean by organizational change theory? See, change, as we have already discussed, that change is inevitable. So if there is an organizational change in any organization, then how do the employees or how do the staff, the people working in any particular organization, they react to various kinds of change? That is important. So there is various theories and models encompasses that how organizations go through these kind of changes. Okay, how do the managers proceed with the various changes which are going to happen in any kind of organization, and how do their employees react to these kind of changes? This is all about organizational change theory. Okay. See, this is organizational culture. Okay, you see, organizational culture, it leads to leadership, it leads to incentive. Okay, it leads to working relationship, it leads to capability and human behavior. Okay. So this is all about the organizational culture, and how do these kinds of factors which influences the organizational culture in any particular organizational setting. Now, organizational change. Okay. um, See, we don't like change, do we? Most of the people, well, some people, they are, they do like change. They want some sort of changes to happen in any organization, whether that's their particular individual life or any organization they're working for. But most of the people, they are resistant to change. So how do we influence them, and how do we try to bring about the necessary organizational change in any organizational setting? So the first one is adapt, next is develop, adjust, modify, advance, and innovate. So there should be adaptation. They should adapt. How do they adapt? They have to develop. We have to develop certain changes in the behavioral settings of the organization. Next is adjustment. They have to be adjustive. They should try to adjust to the necessary changes which are coming into the organization. And certain modification has to be done. There has to be certain modification, and there should be certain advancement and certain innovation. Certain advancement must be done in any organization, and certain innovations should also happen, so that the necessary organizational change is been done in any organizational setting. Motivation theory. Now, motivation theory, if you are not motivated, everything leads to is important in motivation. If we are not motivated, then definitely that is not going to lead to a good performance in any organization. So very importance, a lot of importance has been given to various kinds of motivation, and these days you will see that most of the organizations, most of the MNCs, they work tirelessly to motivate their employees. Okay. Various kinds of motivations have been given to them. So the first one is goal setting theory. Okay. So what does it mean? What does it mean that goal setting theory? Okay. It is very specific. The goal setting theory is very specific, that various challenges are being provided to the employees, and that motivates the individual, that if you are able to accomplish this particular goal, then certain motivations might be, certain reimbursement or certain rewards may be given to you. So that can motivate the individual, and that can also improve their individual performance. It can be individual, it can be in a particular group also. Okay. The next is self-determination theory. Okay. So what does it mean, self-determination? It is something about, it relates to autonomy, self-determination. I mean, I can determine how do I need to work, um, how what should be the um, uh, methods which I need to put into my workplace. Okay, the all important this managers, they need to understand is that they should be concerned about the outcome of the work rather than the process. Most of the managers and leaders these days, you will see that they are much concerned about the outcome. Okay, various challenges, various goals have been given to the employees, and the outcome is important. The managers these days, they say that we are focused on the outcome. As long as you give us a positive outcome, that is, we are okay with it. Okay, you're not going to see how you work. And these days you will see that most of the employees there, particularly in the IT sector, you will see that most of the employees were also given the work from home. So you work from in the comfort of your home, and you provide us with various positive results, positive outcomes. Okay. So when an individual realizes that he or she has certain sense of autonomy, okay, certain sense of competence, okay, that relates to their uh, uh, good performance there. So that makes self motivated, self motivation. It creates self motivation within the employee. You see, the goal setting theory. Okay. So goal setting theory is that it includes the employee in goal setting, the goal to work unit. It also sets certain specific goals. Okay. It also asks the employees can also ask their supervisors to set various kinds of particular goals. And they also hold regularly performance meeting, um, ongoing feedback and coaching. So there has to be various kinds of ongoing feedbacks, and coaching must be given to the employees in preparing the goal setting theory. Ensure focus on relevant areas. So focus has been given on various kinds of relevant areas where the individual goal is been provided. Alignment and reward system with the results. Okay, so various kinds of rewards has been given with the, which is directly proportional to the results. The way the results are been out, the rewards have been accorded accordingly. Okay, and self-determination theory. Now, self-determination theory. Self-determination theory has three basic needs. Okay. You see, humans have three basic needs. Like in determining self-determination theory, number one is competence, number two is autonomy, and number three is relatedness. Okay. So what do you mean by competence? Okay. You have to be competitive. See, everybody wants competitiveness, but that should be, as long as it is a healthy competition, nobody has any issue with it. But when there is an unhealthy competition in most of the organizations, you will see these days that sometimes various kinds of unhealthy competition arises, and that leads to conflict, a group conflict within the organization. Okay, so competence. So when an employee realizes that he or she is effective in dealing with any kind of environment, and is competent enough, then that leads to self-determination. Autonomy, as we have already discussed, that certain autonomic power should be given to the employee, so that he or she can deal with the challenges arising in his day-to-day workplace, and that can be solved through autonomy, and that also leads to certain self-determination. Okay. And the third is relatedness. Okay, so there should be a we feeling. I mean, a belonging. You need to have a belonging with your colleagues, with your organization. You see, these days, um, in the multinational organizations these days, you know what they do? They provide certain shares to their employee. Various shares are being provided to the employee. Why? Because the employee should have a bonding within the organization. There should be we feeling a close bonding within the organization, within the company which he or she is working. So that also creates sense of belonging to the organization uh, an employee is working. Okay, so that also leads to self-determination theory. Now, conflict resolutions. See, when there is an organization, conflict is an important. There has to be have any kind of conflict when certain rights are not met, certain um, expectation is not met, then there has to be the conflict arises. So, what are the conflict resolutions theories? So, once there is any kind of conflict, there has to be certain theories, certain negotiation has to be done. So, what are the negotiation theories to stop any kind of conflict? So, understanding negotiation strategies and techniques is essential for resolving conflict in organizations. So, in negotiation theory, you will see that you have to understand various kinds of negotiation strategies and techniques. So, what are those strategies and what are those techniques which can help stop further conflict in any organization? So, that is known as negotiation theory. Now, negotiation theory. When the negotiation starts, when the negotiation process begins, and the panel, the committee who is in the negotiation process, they they should be well prepared. They should be well prepared, and various kinds of proper planning has to be done before the negotiation process starts. The second, there should be proper rules and regulations. Which rules should be followed? What rules should be discarded when the negotiation process is going on? Number three, what is the justified ground? Do we have any kind of just clarification and justification for a particular incident? If yes, that has to be put into force. Number four, the committee should have bargaining and problem solving attitude. They should be able to bargain with the employees or with the particular group, and that should be problem solving. And lastly, that can lead to closure of the conflict and various kinds of implementation in the negotiation process. Decision making theories. Now, what is the decision making theory? The first one is rational decision making, and the second one is bounded rationality. Now, what do you mean by rational decision making? When we are making any kind of decision, the committee or the higher authority, they should put all the options available on the table, and they should evaluate it, evaluate all the available information, all the available options, and that among those, which options is creating maximum utility, which is giving maximum utility, that option should be chosen. Okay, that is known as rational decision making. When making a decision, first should be defining the problem. What is the problem in any organization? Second is identifying the criteria. What are the criteria in making the right decision? Allocating weights to the criteria. What are the criteria available, and how we are going to measure all those criteria? Okay. Next is developing in alternatives. What are the alternatives apart from those criteria? Okay. Next is evaluating the alternatives. Okay, what are the alternatives available and selecting the best alternative. So this is all about the rational decision making model. Next is bounded rationality. In bounded rationality, what happens? What happens? The same like rational decision making, but here the committee or the group which are going to make various kinds of decision making process, what they do, they have a limited time and resource. So what they do is that rather than optimizing, okay, they have to lead to satisficing. Okay, satisficing option means choosing a satisfactory option rather than doing any kind of optimizing in any in the available options. The available options, we cannot do any kind of optimizing theories. Rather than we have to choose the satisfactory options which is available, as because we are having limited time and limited resource. Okay, and that is all about bounded rationality. You see, bounded rationality, it also it's similar with the other rationality, that uh, while making a decision making process, we have to understand the objectives. What are the objectives of the bounded rationality? And we have to identify the criteria. We have to also find identify alternatives and then choose a right choice in this bounded rationality. Okay. Now, with this we have completed all the slides. So a theoretical framework, if we summarize it, what do you mean by a theoretical framework? Theoretical framework in any organization is important because it creates a frame. It creates a frame of group dynamics. It creates a frame of leadership effectiveness, okay, and various kinds of employee motivation. When a person is behaving, why the person is behaving in such and such. So it creates a basic framework, okay, theoretical framework in any kind of organizational behavior to understand all the organizational behavior practitioners, the managers, the higher authorities, the researchers, to understand and develop various interventions, strategies, and how to improve that by applying all those strategies, how the performance can be improved and employees' well-being can be taken into consideration. This is all about the theoretical framework in any organizational setting. I believe we have covered most of the relevant points in the theoretical framework, um, and that how it leads to a proper organizational behavior and a good performance organizational setting. Thank you very much for your time and energy, and I believe this is going to be a important framework in any organizational setting. Thank you very much.